Hello, testing. That's kind of low. There we go. Hello. We are getting ready for a meditation with Sam. Sam, I think there's a iPhone charger maybe over there somewhere.
I have a cable. I needed the phone on the table.
Right. Is that close enough or no? No. Oh, there's plugs down here. If that'll work. But then you need a box, but there's a box right there. Okay. That'll work?
I don't know. I haven't got them. Can I get under the table?
Yes, you can. Clay Bear, what's up? Pat's good. He'll be back soon. He's back, but he'll be back on here soon.
I understand you'll want Pat here. He's going to be back soon. For tonight, as promised, regularly scheduled programming continues for Sunday night meditation. Just getting the tech sorted out, music. Glad the sound is great. Just give me 1 second while I gotta log into the computer on Spotify on computer. Appreciate your patience, guys. 1 second. Gonna do sound tests. Do you know how? I want to be able to do the volume.
Just you can just play that. It's not playing.
No, I just want to be able to fuck with the volume here. Okay, can everyone hear the music and me? That's just the music. super quiet. It's just the music. Or maybe it's fine. Oh, it's because it's... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now you can hear yourself.
Yeah. Sorry about this, guys. Appreciate it. Okay. That's better. I can hear myself now. You guys can hear me. Patrick is good. He's back. He will be here soon. For tonight, we are here for Sunday night meditation, as you can see on the screen if you're on TikTok. Appreciate your understanding, Colby. I've been in program and off everything for 15 years. Gonna sit and chat for a minute just to get settled. It's been racing around for the last 20 minutes to get here on time. Steph, 14 days. It's a big deal. And a long time. Good news is you've done the hardest 14 days. Claire Bear, the banner is correct. It says meditation with Sam. 2/22/22, that's an incredible date. Keep it. Rachel, good to see you here. Thank you, Coconuts. Appreciate you. What's up, Kokomo? Alice, 17. That's a long time. Congratulations back. That's all right, Claire. I get it. Happens. We're all having technical difficulties, as we usually do in the first few minutes, but we always get there. And I guess the reason I meditate is to have less and less reaction to the fact that everything takes time. Sometimes it can go wrong. Steph, Super Bowl Sunday is just Sunday. Hang out with us. Come here in the evening. Go to a meeting. Call people who are doing this thing. Check in. And you won't need to check out. That was cheesy, but you take my point. Rosie, you're absolutely right. It is entirely possible. It's available. It's worth it. What's up, Talitha? Good to see you here. March 12th, 8 years. Big deal. Hardest part is admitting. Yeah, admission is the key. Acceptance is not the key. This thing is unacceptable. But if we can admit that it's unacceptable, we can immediately take the power out of the fact that it's unacceptable. That's right, Rosie. It's within. Everything you need is within. Everything you're looking for. And as we're going to find out tonight, everything you want is the other side of the breath. I have 9 jackets on, so I'm going to at least loosen a couple of them. 1 second. There we go. That's better. Now I'm not going to overheat while we do this. Okay. I walked into my... I'm sorry to hear that, Colby. You know, this thing rips through the lives of everyone it touches and everyone around them. And that's right, Tyrone, it is an absolute spiral staircase to nothing. The bridge that has no other side. Top of the morning, we're back. And Sunday night meditation will continue. Okay, so I'm going to, now that I'm relaxed, centered, and happy to see all of you. I'm going to talk about two things, as I always do at the beginning. I'm going to talk about why we meditate, and then I'm going to talk about how to breathe. I might actually just give us all a break from this track. That was probably long enough for that one. So I'm going to answer the question of two things, and then I'm not going to answer it again. And if any of the mods can administrate this, that would be great. Pat is back, but he's limiting his exposure to the live for a little bit in his finding a healthy relationship to all of it. But he misses all of you. He's happy that you're here. He's grateful to all of you. He's missed you, and he appreciates the fact that you have missed him and that you have given him space to address his stuff. Nick is at the house. He has not graduated. This is the graduate house, so he will not be here. He's at the main house. Alice, my name is Sam. To anyone who hasn't seen me before, I'm a friend of Graceland, I'm a friend of Pat, I'm a friend of Veronica. I'm a big believer in what they do. I've watched lots of people get help, get better. I've watched their lives change at Graceland. And as soon as I started seeing how quickly people were changing there, I wanted to be around it. I wanted to help in any way that I could. And, you know, nothing is better for my recovery than being around newly sober people who need help. Because they're on fire for this thing, and they remind me why we do it. They remind me what a miracle it is. And I started guiding meditations at the house for Pat. If we can get to 10,000 likes on the TikTok before we actually start the meditation, that would be great, guys. So if you can tap the screen while you're still up, then I won't ask you to do it again once you lay down. Put some headphones in and kick back. But I appreciate all of you. I started by guiding meditations at the house on Sunday nights, and it was a super powerful experience. And then when we started going, or when Pat started going live, we realized that there was a great opportunity to do this for a much wider audience. So I come here on Sunday nights and I share this experience with all of you, and I'm grateful to do it. It's always as meditative for me as it is for any of you. As long as you engage with it. Once we start, I really hope you'll put your phone away, put some headphones in, and kick back. So why do we meditate? Why are we here? Why do we do this? Our minds make thoughts all the time. That's their job. We actually don't want our minds to stop doing that. We need it to do that job. People think if they think during a meditation, they're bad at meditating. But the fact is, your mind's going to make thoughts. You can't stop it doing that. So the point of meditation is not to stop your mind from thinking, but simply to disengage from the fact that we think. Thinking is immutable. It will always happen. But we can become an observer of our thoughts. We can stop getting dragged around by them. We can stop getting hurt by them. We can stop thinking they have some kind of reflection of reality. And how we do that is by connecting with the breath. Because you cannot be connected to the breath and your thoughts at the same time. It's impossible. You cannot breathe and think at the same time. What that means is if you're thinking, usually scary thoughts about how nothing works out, you're also not breathing. Because those scary thoughts tell you that you are under some form of attack, that the rug is about to get pulled out. And in anticipation of that, you hold your breath, as if you're bracing for impact in a car crash. And what happens is you start to run out of air, your blood pressure goes up, your anxiety goes up, and your body starts to believe that the story playing out in your mind is real, that it's happening. And then you take a breath. And the moment you breathe, your anxiety drops, and you start to remember the truth, which is that nothing happening in your mind is actually happening. And the goal of meditation is very simply to live in the breath. It's not to give yourself 5 minutes or 20 minutes of peace so that you can get back to racing through your day, connected to your thoughts and all the reasons you're falling short. I will just say that if you continue to comment negativity for the sake of having people engage with you, I get it. I understand that what you want more than anything is to be seen and to be heard. That you're desperately lonely and you're hoping someone out here knows you're here. We see you and we hear you. We get it. The only reason anyone is on this live is because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to sit with their thoughts. They want to connect with their breath. And recalibrate themselves for their evening, for the end of their weekend, to go into next week in the right way. And so now I'm going to talk about how to breathe. Because if you tell or ask anyone, particularly guys, to take a deep breath, sorry, I'm not co-hosting with anyone right now. So if you can stop requesting that, would be great. If you ask anyone to take a deep breath, what they usually do is stick their chest out and take the shallowest breath you can take. How you take a deep breath is to relax your chest, your stomach, your abdomen, and breathe down into your belly for a count of about 7. And when you get there, you want to hold your breath for a count of 8. And as you hold your breath, you want to imagine the air in your stomach balling up against the solar plexus where all of your stress sits. And when you get to a count of 8 and that ball of stress has crawled up the throat into your mouth, you want to release it as if you're blowing up a balloon. And you want to release it for as long as you possibly can. You want to breathe out every single drop of air until you physically cannot breathe out any more air. And the point of that is to breathe out all the stale air at the bottom of your stomach, because your gut carries all of your negative emotion. So you want to breathe out for approximately a count of 24 at the same speed you counted the 7 on the way in. So you're breathing out far more air than you breathe in. And when you breathe out that last drop of air and you physically cannot breathe out anymore, you breathe in for another count of 7. And as you do, you will feel all of your negative energy displaced with positive energy. You'll feel yourself awash. You'll feel every blood cell in your being light up. Victoria, if you feel dizzy when you do this, I hope you're lying down. You don't want to do this when you're driving. You can breathe down into the belly and release as if normal breathing, but you don't want to do the hold. You don't want to breathe out for too long. This is for when you are in a safe space and you're lying down. Maybe you're able to put one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest and feel when you breathe in, your hand will lift up like you're blowing up a balloon. So let's get into it. We're at 9,400 likes. I'm going to call that close enough. I appreciate it. You did good. So, if you can find a safe space where you hopefully won't be interrupted, maybe you can close the door, lock the world outside. Lay down on a couch, on the floor, on the bed. It'd be as flat as you can possibly get. One hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And as I suggested, take 3 deep breaths down into the belly, hold, and release. And this will center your body. And as you breathe out, feel yourself sink into the ground or the couch or the bed. Feel your whole body go loose. Let every muscle in your body breathe out with you as you exhale. Breathe off the day. Breathe off the week. Breathe off the year. We're now going to do a body scan where I want you to start at the top of the head. Imagine the top 2 halves of your skull cracking open and releasing heat and negative energy. Relax the forehead. Relax the eyebrows. Let your eyelids fall heavy so that you almost couldn't open them if you tried. If your mind starts to wander, just come back to the breath. Relax the jaw, unclench the teeth. Turn your head gently left and right to release any tension in the neck and the throat. Relax your shoulders. Let your chest expand. Let your tummy go loose. Let your hips spread. Notice your quads let go, your knees go weak, your calves relax. Wiggle your toes, relax the bicep and the tricep, the elbows sink into the ground, down the forearm and into the fingers. And as you breathe in, notice now that the cool, light, healing energy washing through you touches every part of the body, now centered. You've been engaged in this live now for 21 minutes. I'd like you just to check in with yourself and ask yourself how you feel. We've been meditating for maybe 5 minutes. Notice the lessening of anxiety. Notice the absence of worry, morbid reflection. Take a moment to be grateful to yourself for coming to this live and finding the time to practice self-care, to take a moment away from the world, do something for yourself, for your spirit, for your body and your mind, for deciding you were worth this hour, that your body deserves the break, your mind and your spirit deserve peace, and that you deserve freedom from the lie. and the lie that runs between our ears, not because we are broken or because we are addicts, but because we are human, is that I'm not safe in the world and I'm not enough as I am. But if I can just, then I'll be. There is no if you can just, there is no then you'll be, because you already are. When you connect with the breath, you find out and you remember that you're safe, just as you always have been. I know that to be true because you're here, and you're enough, just as you always have been. And there is no if you can just, then you'll be, because you cannot complete what's complete. You cannot make safe or make enough what is safe and enough. And when you connect with the breath and you remember that you're safe and enough, you start to actually enjoy it. You stop living through it and killing time, grinning and bearing it, hoping it's all going to change. You get to enjoy it. You get to enjoy the fact that you get to be you. Because you get one. This is it. You know, the clock is running. I don't want to get to the end of this thing and for the last thought I ever have when I fall in a box to be that I should have just enjoyed it. Now is good. You are good. It's time to start feeling that way. You know, the facts say that you are good, you are kind, you are worthy of love, abundance, joy, laughter, safety, success, money, friendship, kindness, creativity. Those are the facts. And we often know that to be true intellectually, but it's not how we feel. How we feel is that we're falling short, that we're late, that we're behind, that there's all these things we should have done, we should be doing. But if we should have done them, we would have. If there was something that was meant to be, it would be. And if your fear is that if not now, then never, I want to tell you that if not now, just not now. Maybe later tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe next year. But it will be in perfect time and perfect order, because nothing that's actually meant for you will go by you. It will just come at the perfect time. And we cannot rush these things. If we try to get in the way of perfect order, we just make a mess of it. The other fear that runs our experience is if not this, then nothing else. And the truth is, if not this, anything else. If you're hanging on to a job or a girl or a guy or a home or anything about your experience because you believe that even though this thing isn't right for you, if you let it go, nothing will take its place. I want to tell you that's impossible. Every time I've surrendered anything with a pure heart, without an eye on what I might get instead, when I just surrender something because it's clearly no longer meant for me, I experience flow, I experience abundance, I experience joy, I experience freedom from holding on. I stop wasting energy trying to make something work that isn't working. I stop trying to empty a river with a bucket raging at life, hoping it will feel my impatience and my indignation and fall in line. And I have never affected change in my life for one split second by doing that. Every time I've experienced true positive change, it has simply come as a result of surrender. How do we surrender? We live in the breath. When you live in the breath, you have nothing to fear. You want nothing. You need no one. Not from a sociopathic point of view, but simply that you are safe and you're enough. And you become unfuckwithable. You can't be negotiated with because you don't need what anyone else has. The moment you think you need something that someone else has, you've already lost. If you need nothing, you've already won. If you want what you have and you let go of getting what you want, you already have everything you want. And this is not about accepting mediocrity or leaving things as they are or staying in one place forever. Nothing never happens, nothing always happens, nothing happens forever. Those words are only written down with any seriousness in fairy tale. In the real world, everything is changing all the time. But if you want nothing and you need no one, and you want what you have instead of getting what you want, you release your grip from the throat of the universe and you allow it to breathe with you. And you experience abundance. You experience flow. And everything that's meant for you will come flooding in exactly the time and the order it's meant to. Nothing is late, including you. You aren't making a mess of it. And if you're finding this really hard, I want to tell you two things. One, you're finding it hard because it's not easy. You're finding it hard because it is hard. And what makes it so hard is the idea that everyone else is finding it easy. And what I can promise you is that no one is finding it easy. I've worked as a coach with some of the most successful people on the planet monetarily, and they're frightened all the time. So you're not doing it wrong, you're in good company. This is the human condition. The human condition is to live in fear, and the spiritual condition is to live in love. To live in the safety and surety of being safe and enough. And all you have to do to get there is breathe. Down into the belly, hold and release. And your negative energy will never build up. It will never get hold of you. It will never guide your mind or your decision making. You'll live guided by the breath. I want you once again to check in with yourself, notice how you feel. Take a body scan. If there's tension anywhere in the chest, the stomach, the mind, the neck, the throat, simply cast your mind's eye to those places and visualize that stress or that tension or that pressure leaving you. Visualize that place or part of you opening up and exhaling. Notice yourself get lighter, sink deeper into wherever you lie. This feeling that you have is not the result of spending the last half an hour listening to me or the music I'm playing, or even the decision to lie in a dark room with a hand on the belly and the chest. This is simply the result of spending 30 minutes connected to the breath, disconnected from the mind. observing our thoughts, not judging them, not judging ourselves for the fact that we think. Just allowing ourselves, when we find ourselves thinking, to simply come back to the breath. Now is good. You're good. You're safe. You're enough. You're doing enough. You have enough. And you're exactly where you need to be to get exactly where you are headed. You need not fight it. You need not waste energy trying to make it something it's not right now. The goal is simply to get excited to find out where it's going, safe in the knowledge that it's going exactly where it needs to and exactly the speed it's meant to get there. Our only job is to get out the way. Our only job is to find some joy in it, to find out how good we are. If you wish things were different, just cast your mind for a moment to how many people on this planet tonight would switch places with you without a second thought. Because the answer is over 1 billion who wish their life was like yours, filled with possibility at the beginning of the best story never told. And we spend our lives wishing we were different, wishing we were better, wishing we were healthier, wishing we were lighter, thinner, taller, younger, older. I hear this a lot about alcohol. That alcohol made me tall enough, cool enough, young enough, old enough, sexy enough. It allowed me to talk to people, it made me funny, made me cool. But it's always talked about as a lie, as if it was the lie that alcohol told us. The truth is, alcohol was telling you the truth. Alcohol was showing you the truth for a second and allowing you to see how good you are. And what we believed, this was the lie, was that alcohol was the thing making us those things. And the truth was that that was who we were. When alcoholism, or our disease, our human condition, released itself from around our throat for a split second. So we thought, well, if a little bit is going to make me feel like that a little bit, then surely a little more is going to make me feel a little more like that. And maybe there's a place where if I do enough of this thing that's giving me this feeling, I'll start feeling this way all the time. But it was always a lie. You were always those things, but you were gripped around the throat by your disease and you couldn't feel it because you couldn't breathe. And the moment you breathe, you find out how good you are, how good things are, how good your life is, how great the world is. What a miracle it is that we get to be here. And all we have to do is leave that alone and breathe. Stop seeing it as the answer to anything. It will never give you what you want. It will never make you who you want to be, because you already are who you want to be and you already have everything you need to get exactly where you are headed. It's time to start enjoying it. It's time to stop being so hard on yourself about how it's going, the pace at which it's moving, and start getting excited for where it's going. Get into the driver's seat or the front row seat of the movie theater to watch the greatest story not yet told. You get to start taking control of how this story goes and how it ends. Instead of feeling like the victim who's just being carried along by the story you don't want to watch, you can in fact take control. And all you have to do all of that is breathe. It's time. It's time you started enjoying it. You get to enjoy it. You spent long enough being hard enough on yourself. You spent long enough being unkind to yourself. It's time to start being kind to yourself. It's time to allow the voice in your head to say, I'm fucking great. I'm kind, I'm good, I'm creative, I'm successful. I'm worthy of love and friendship and kindness and abundance. Money, joy, laughter, experience. I'm going to stop locking myself away from my own life. I'm going to stop locking myself away from me. I'm going to start allowing myself to see me for how good I am and how good it is. Mark Twain said the two most important days in a person's life are the day they're born and the day they find out why. The moment you connect with your breath, you will find out why you are here. What you're here to do. What you're here to experience. What you're here to give. What you're here to get back as a result of all of that. It is not a one-way street. It is not about living in slavish service. It's that when you start seeking to answer the question of what you can give, the question of what you can get will be answered for you. But when you live in the question of what you can get, nothing will happen. You will be stuck, and you will feel overlooked and fucked over by the universe. And again, all you have to do to engender everything I'm talking about is breathe. Everything you need to get everything I'm talking about is within you. It was given to you. They said we will hide God inside the heart of every man and woman on this planet because it's the last place they will ever look. But you found it. You found this. It's in the breath. Your disease is in your mind, and when you go in there, you get battered and beaten, and you come out afraid and exhausted. Because you've been told a scary, exhausting story. And the moment you breathe, you get told a very different story. You get told the good news. You get told the truth. Our job is to live in the truth. You don't have to, but you get to. You don't have to live in the lie. You've just been doing it for such a long time that it's hard to imagine anything different. But if you want to know what conscious contact with higher power looks like or sounds like, just look at the voice in your head that tells you you are not safe and you're not enough all day, every day. You can have that same relationship with the universe, with your higher power, whatever you choose to call it. Universal creative force, God, Jesus, it doesn't matter. What matters is you connect with the breath and you connect with the truth so that you get to start enjoying it. Now is good. And you know now what you know now. People say all the time, if I knew then what I know now, it doesn't matter. That absolves them of responsibility for taking action now, because you know now what you know now. You know that everything you want is in the breath. You know that all you have to do to get it is breathe. You know you are safe, you know you are enough, you know you are good, you know you are kind, creative, funny, worthy of love, kindness, friendship, relationship, love, sex, abundance, peace, joy, money, and everything else you want. You're worthy of all the outside stuff, the big house, the great car, whatever you want out of that as well. But the outside stuff will not fix the inside stuff. If you look for it to fix the inside stuff, it will hang you. But if you fix the inside stuff first, then you go and get the big house or the car collection or the watch collection or the girl or the guy, and you'll actually keep it. You'll enjoy it because you won't be looking for it to save you. You won't be looking for it to complete you. You will already be complete. Thank you, St. Nick. Appreciate you introducing me to those late to the live. You aren't late. You aren't behind. You're here. I misspoke. I used the wrong word. I mean coming in on the back end, but I guess wherever you were was where you needed to be, and now that you're here, this is where you need to be. Now is good. Now is worth it. You're worth it. You're worth this. As you lie in this state, I'd like you just to take some deep breaths. Enjoy the feeling in your body. Enjoy the absence of thought in your mind. Enjoy the state in which you have arrived. This state you find yourself in is the result of connecting with the breath, and you can do it anytime you want. You don't need to lie in a dark room for an hour. You can simply take some deep breaths and allow yourself to be reminded of the truth. Thank you, Steph. It's great to meet you. It's great to see everyone on here. I appreciate all of you. And as we come into the last few minutes of the meditation, I would like you to make a deal with yourself that you're going to protect the space you have arrived in, the space you have worked to get to. That you will try to remember not to be unkind to yourself if you fall short of the mark. But when your mind starts to tell you scary stories, if you can remember to stand back and observe the fact that your mind is lying to you, and take a breath and allow the universe to remind you of the truth. Try to remind yourself to do this as you go into your evening. Protect your peace, protect the space. Allow yourself to go into a long, restful, peaceful night's sleep. Allow yourself to go into a peaceful week. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Allow yourself to enjoy being you. The fact that you get to be you. The fact that you get to show up for this story that hasn't played out yet. It's time to start enjoying it. If you wish, stay in this state. I'm going to take questions if you wish. I'm going to ask you to remember that I have answered a question about Nick and about Pat, but I'm happy to talk about sobriety. I'm happy to talk about I'll tell you my story if you want. But in the meantime, if you wish to come back into the room, wiggle your fingers and toes, turn your head gently left and right, take 3 centering breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Colby. Flammability, I'm glad you feel relaxed. You're welcome. Laura, I'm so grateful that you managed to make it out. 7/12/24 is a perfect date. I really pray that you hold on to it. Peace, you are welcome. If anyone has any questions about the meditation, if anyone wants to ask questions about how they're feeling or what they're doing or where it's all going, or I will respond in any way that I can. I appreciate you all liking the live. Bella, I am in the process now, as I've been talking about for a while, but I'm actually in talks with someone who is going to help me record a number of different meditations, some more like an hour long, sleep meditations, start your day meditations. And they'll be available on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes. My hope is that people will go to sleep to them, start their day with them, play them in the car, find a way to just make all this a little easier. So Bella Daneshka Z, that's where you'll find me soon. I'll be doing this every Sunday, and as soon as that's available, I will let you all know. And if you wish to come follow me there, that would be great. Saint Nick, if you're on the live, if you could pin my TikTok page, that would be super helpful. Actually, I'm not connected to the live, so I can maybe, musically, it's the computer doing it, so I can. Matthew, what's up? This is in fact the Englishman. You're right. I appreciate you not calling me the Brit, as everyone does. Thank you, Z. I appreciate it. Daneshka, I've got a feeling that you already follow me, but I might not be right about that. Okay, I'm going to comment now on the live. If you wish to come and follow me, I will also start doing this on my own channel. I might start doing that midweek, which will mean for those of you that wish to come join me there, this will happen twice a week. And if that goes well, I might start doing it more often than that. But for now, I've been doing it here a little while. And the setup is good, and the headphones and the microphone work well, so it's just where I've gotten comfortable doing it. Daneshka, sorry you missed this. I've been doing it as consistently as I can. Arya, he's doing well. He's back. He's going to be on here as soon as he can. But for tonight, it's me. How's everyone doing tonight? Where are you all? Where in the world are you? What time is it with you? I'm glad this makes you feel better. Colby, I don't have a channel yet, but I am in the process of getting all of that sorted out. Indiana, 11:52 p.m. Bella's in Oregon. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you, St. Nick. I appreciate it.
Take my past and take my sins. Like an empty sail takes the wind.
11:52 in Indiana, but it's 11:53 in Massachusetts. And yet here we all are, thousands of miles apart, meditating together. Pretty crazy, right? Forgiveness starts with faith, as in Washington. I wonder if it's raining with you. We're having the first day of rain we've had all year so far. We could have used it 2 weeks ago when LA was on fire. But I guess that's how it goes. Perfect time, perfect order. Colby, I don't know what that question means. How long do you have there? Or does it depend on the person? Do you mean how long do you have to stay here? As in at Graceland Ranch? It depends on the person. Most people graduate sometime in their first year. Sorry, Bella, what spectacular, I missed the first part. Jess, you're welcome, I appreciate you too. Talitha, you're welcome. Cold and snowy with you in Indiana. It's interesting, I wouldn't have thought of Indiana as cold and snowy, but I guess I've never been, so I don't know why I would know. Adelinda, yes, I'm in recovery. I'm 15 years sober. My thing was Jack Daniels and white. And I thought it was the answer to something. I thought it was going to get between me and myself. And it did for a little while. But as you know, it wasn't without consequence. And what I found in spirituality is that just like taking a breath, it's free, it's immediate, and it's without consequence. Alex, I'm not sure how intense it is, I just know how intense it made me. And I got sick of finding that the sunrise was the end of the night, not the beginning of the day. I got sick of watching the sun come up and getting a dealer's voicemail for the 48th time in a row, wondering how this was my life, with my disease standing at the door saying, got ya, once again. And all I can say, if you're wondering, is this is better. Sorry, I've just been asked to do the drag the puzzle piece thing. But fortunately I nailed it, so we're good. We get to stay on. Adelinda, by the way, well done for getting free of what you've been doing. No, I'm not from California, I'm from London, but I live in California. Yeah, Alex, it's an absolute nightmare. It's definitely better to have come out of the dark and be living on the right side of the day and fulfilling purpose, connecting with all of you, connecting with people. The reason I was doing all of that was I wanted connection. I just didn't know it. I didn't know. I thought I was a lone wolf out on the battlefield and that I was just going to get this thing right. And I didn't want anyone to look at me until I was a version of myself I wanted them to see. And what I found out was that how to get exactly where I wanted to be in that version of me I wanted everyone to see was to allow everyone in and connect and ask for help and allow myself to be human and vulnerable, allow myself to admit that I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Alex, I haven't seen the Robbie Williams movie, but I hear very good things. I know quite a few people who've seen it more than once. John, that's funny. I once got described as the love child of Chandler Bing and Liam Neeson, particularly when I'm wearing glasses. It's uncanny. But I think I got better hair than both of them. Yeah, I hope to see it, Alex. I still haven't seen Nosferatu. Anyone seen that? I hear very mixed things. Some people think it's brilliant, and other people think it's long and slow. Yeah. Colby, you're right. Lots of people fear admitting that they have an issue. They are frightened of admitting they can't do it or that they don't know how to change. And the moment you admit that you don't know what to do, it gets easier. Good to know, John. So you got to wait for the first half. It's 3 hours long, isn't it? That was my experience of all Robert Eggers films, is that they are very, very slow. I think he's a nice filmmaker. He makes good-looking films. I'm actually a screenwriter. It's one of my two trades, and so I like stories that move. I use someone just asked what product I use in my hair. I use a matte clay and a powder. And don't ever tell anyone I told you this, but the way to use them is to use a very little amount on very damp hair and then blow dry it, because the product is heat activated. So you end up looking like you don't have any in and it doesn't move. Apart from there's one bit that, there we go, now stays back. But yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, Alex, exactly. We do our best. The only important thing is that you keep doing it. You know, yes, keep coming back. If you can stay, then just stay. But if you don't stay, just come back. No one's ever judging you. No one's ever wondering what you were thinking. Just come back. What matters is that you live. What matters is that you make it out. And if you make it out for 6 months and go out for 3 and come back for 3 months and go out for 6, what matters is that you are getting that time free. What matters is that you are getting closer and closer to true surrender. We're going to have a bit of national since we're not meditating anymore. This song came out before I got sober, I think. It's crazy. It reminds me of a house I was living in with 4 other guys. It's like Animal House. I guess it was fun in its way, but I was very near the end of my rope. Rob, I don't know the answer to that question. Ben, February 4th, beautiful. It's coming up. 4 years, but you know what's even better than 4 years on February 4th is being sober today. I don't know if that's true. Why not play? I don't have any view on it really. You asking if I have advice for service industry folks? I have no advice. I don't know what anyone should do, but my experience is it's not an easy place to be sober. But if you want to be sober, if you are truly done, then wild horses won't drag you back. Thank you, Bella. Appreciate you. People always say to me, oh, you're English. Of course you drink. But then you hear the same about the Irish, the Russians, the Scots, the Welsh, the South, the North. It's not the place. If you're like us, you're going to do it until you don't. And when you're done, you'll be done. Appreciate you, Lauren. We all have a vibe, and there are a lot of people on here who really benefit from Pat's vibe, from Wyatt's vibe, from Mason's vibe, and from mine. We're all different. 100% Colby, it gets easier, but here's what I'll say about the gets easier thing, because I do think this is important. I'm just going to chill this because it's a little frantic for this moment. If it's really, really easy in the beginning, it gets harder and harder and harder, and then you go out. But if it's really, really hard in the beginning, it gets easier and easier and easier, and you stay. So if you're finding it hard, if you're finding it sucks, if you're finding it's like walking on broken glass or dragging yourself along the tarmac by your teeth, just know that's good news, because it's going to get easier and easier and easier, and you're going to stay. Lauren, I'm going to stop drinking. I don't do it every day, but I binge. UK pub culture is the crazy. Yeah, I was a UK pub culture person, and I didn't do it every day. But when I did it, it was till the sun came up. And I didn't recognize my life, and I didn't understand why nothing was working. And the first 3 steps for me were admit nothing. And maybe everyone won't know that I dread every step I take. Step 2, I went to a power much greater than me to get between me and that feeling of complete inability to make my life what I wanted. And then 3, turn my will and my life over to a power greater than myself, or to God as I understand Him. Well, my will's what I want and my life is what I get. And I thought, if I could just, like I said, rage at the universe enough, I would get what I want. And then I got sober. And the first 3 steps became admit that I don't know what I'm doing and I dread every step I take, so that I can go to a power much greater than me to get between me and my feelings, that I'm not safe and I'm not enough. And when something gets between me and that feeling, it's not that I get everything I want, it's that I want everything that I get. That's the first 3 steps. Adelinda, I don't know who messed up the rice. I was just here to help with the chicken. I think the rice happened before I got here. But all I will say on that is that if you ever eat rice, you should buy a rice cooker. It's the greatest invention on the planet. And I will also tell you that the Japanese all use a rice cooker. There isn't a home in Japan has a rice cooker like homes in England have a kettle. Sorry, Z, what do you want me to say again? Adelinda, you do minute rice. I guess that's in a microwave. I get impatience, but what I love about a rice cooker is I wet the rice and I wash it, and then I put the right amount of water in, I put it in the machine, I turn it on and I walk away. And whether I get back half an hour later or at the end of the day, there's perfect rice waiting for me, because the rice is the part that takes the longest. I can make chicken in 8 minutes perfectly every time, but can't do rice in 8 minutes. Yeah, I think my rice cooker was $109, but I use it almost every day, or I use it every 3 days now when I meal prep. Repeat the 3 steps. Okay. Are we liking Idiotech? I mean, I think this is one of the greatest. It's definitely my favorite Radiohead song. I did a lot of late nights to this song. That might be why I still like it. Let's go with this one. It's also a great Radiohead song. Okay, so I tried quinoa in the rice cooker once. It was gross. I'm never doing it again. I love quinoa, but I'll do that in a pan. Okay. Before I got sober, step 1, admit nothing. And maybe no one will find out or figure out that I dread every step I take. And then that feeling becomes so unbearable, so injurious, that I have to go to a power much greater than me to get between me and that feeling. It's not restoration to sanity. I don't even know what that means. It's just being blinded out from the self. And in the face of being blinded out from the self, the 3rd step, what I want and what I get are so far apart that I don't recognize my life, and I have no idea how to make them the same thing. In the belief that if I can make what I want and what I get the same thing, I'll get everything I want. And then I get sober. And I get sober by admitting that I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm terrified all the time. And I'm terrified that the next step I take is going to prove that I have no idea what I'm doing. And the rug's going to get pulled out. And if I can admit that feeling, I can go to a power much greater than me to get between me and those feelings and restore my sanity. And restoration to sanity is being reminded of the truth that I don't need control over my life, because it's unfolding in perfect time and perfect order. And in that admission and in building that conscious contact with my higher power, with whom I am safe, and everything is unfolding in perfect time and perfect order, I can surrender my will to the universe's will for me. Not so that I get everything that I want, but so that I want everything that I get. I hope that was clear. Brandy, 7 years. Joshua, 6 months today. Incredible. And you're right, the longer you're sober, the easier it gets. If it's hard in the beginning, it gets easier and easier. If it's easy in the beginning, it just gets harder and harder. So when it's hard in the beginning, you know it's real. And you're here to stay. Cody, 3 years, big deal. That's a long time. It's 156 Saturday mornings not watching the sun come up. I'm just speaking from my own experience. I was 3-4 times a week warrior. Saturday morning was always a nightmare, where I knew I was going to spend the rest of the weekend under a duvet, wondering why my life was not going the way I wanted, but I couldn't factor or fathom that it was the way I was spending my Friday night that Monday morning didn't look like I wanted it to. Flammability, where did you have a shepherd's pie? In a meeting. What's up, Timothy? Glad you're here. We're doing good. We just finished the meditation. I hope you'll be here next Sunday for it. It starts at 8 p.m. PST. Yeah, Cody, the difference is it's unimaginable. I mean, my favorite analogy on this is that when you get sober, My sponsor likens it or believes it comes with the fifth step, but I believe it comes the moment you make the admission. What happens is you experience a 1 degree shift. And a 1 degree shift doesn't sound or look like much. If you were standing on a street corner and you closed your eyes and I tipped your shoulders by 1 degree and you open your eyes again, the world would look exactly the same. But if you start walking in that new direction and you add time to the 1 degree shift, you miss where you were headed by thousands of miles. Thousands of miles, and your life gets unrecognizable really quickly. 1 degree doesn't sound like enough, but it's all you need. And it goes from, don't worry, I know what I'm doing and I'm gonna pull this plane out of a nosedive, to, I have no idea what I'm doing and I can't pull the plane out of the nosedive. That's the 1 degree shift. And it's the key to everything you want. That and the breath. I mean, Cody, you've come a long way back from living in a tent on the side of the river with no idea it was even hurting. And you're right, Timothy, it's a beautiful evening. Brandy, 7 years. And loving yourself. I mean, isn't that the key? You get to love yourself. Love the self. Katrina, you can't breathe. Breathe down into the belly, not the lungs. Breathe in for a count of 7, down into the belly. Hold your breath for a count of 8. And release for a count of 24. Breathe out more air than you breathe in, and you will breathe in after that positive energy, having displaced it from all the negative energy in your system. But yes, untreated alcoholism grips itself around our throats and it stops us from breathing. Why? Because the truth is in your breath. If you breathe, your alcoholism's lie cannot get you. Lorene, you're not trying, you're doing it. You're here. You're connecting. You're with us. You're admitting that you don't know what to do. You're admitting that you feel like you're falling short and you're asking for help. There is nothing else. Hopefully in saying that and hearing a response, you've stopped feeling like you're failing. That's exactly right, Emma. Be proud of yourselves. And I'm sorry you found your father that way. I'm just going to, once again, tag myself in the live. If any of you wish to follow me, this is my account, which I guess will be pinned for about the next minute. Onyx, you had a seizure today from anxiety. You want to quit. You're here and you're admitting that it's not going well. You're admitting that it stopped being fun. You're admitting that you want different. You're admitting that you deserve different. You're dealing yourself in. You're hanging out with us. You're putting your hand up. You're raising a flag. So you're doing it. You just did it. Thank you, Claire. Also that. Thank you, Rose. We love you too. Cody, I will be here every Sunday that I'm in town. That's my plan. Yeah, if I'm in LA, I'm doing the live. Yeah, I have a down jacket that I wear in the rain, and it has a hole in it. So every time I take it off, I have feathers. Thank you, Claire Bear. I'm doing my best. I really enjoy doing this. I love hanging out with all of you, and in any way that I'm able to help is a gift. And I promise it's helping me. Thank you, blessed lashes. Blessed lashes. You know, the meditation where I seek to remind all of you of the truth, that you're safe and you're enough, reminds me of the truth, that I'm safe and I'm enough. It's two-way. I'm going to play a song I produced. It's actually just a piece of music. Just feels like it might be right for this moment. Let's find out. Z. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's not easy, but it's easier. There's nothing harder, there's nothing that's more like work than navigating untreated disease, than trying to find peace and joy while this thing is gripping itself around your throat, riding on your back, telling you you're doing it wrong while telling you it's your best friend or your only friend. This is easier. Oh, thanks, Claire. Yes, that is the IG. And the music is under Bulletproof Baby Doll because 40-Year-Old Virgin was taken. And I have a book coming out soon called Not a Fucking Life Coach. And I write movies. And I have one in development that I'll let you all know about because I think it's going to be fucking great. And again, if anyone hasn't met me before, I'm a friend of the family of Graceland and a friend of Pat and Veronica. I've always been a fan of what they do and how much Graceland has helped people who run through it. I've watched people's lives change there very, very quickly in every way that my life took 8.5 years to change, not because AA's less good and less effective, but because I got allowed to live in my own bullshit for all of that time. And the first time I went to Graceland, I just watched a bunch of people have their cover pulled and their bullshit pulled. And because they had to get real about where they were, they started getting where they wanted to go much quicker. But if you lie to yourself about where you are, you've got the wrong map to get where you want to go because you're starting from the wrong place. What's up, Kathleen in Iowa? Is it 11:22 p.m. for you? I'm kind of guessing time zone there. Dennis Parker, we appreciate you. That's a big deal. 1999. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Lorraine, you're welcome. I'm gonna like that. Sorry, I'm not used to this. There we go. Dennis, it really is kind of you. Thank you. Apparently gifting on TikTok has stopped working for some reason. I think we got a ban at some point and it's been removed from the live, but we appreciate all the likes. It helps get the word out about the live. I'm interested to see if I go on my own. I don't have 1 million followers, but I'm just interested to see how many people end up in the room. And I guess it doesn't matter if it's 5 people, then those are the people I'm meant to help. Thank you, Claire. We appreciate you. Madison, she's doing well. I'm not huge on talking about people that aren't here. Dennis, I appreciate you. Thank you. Cowboy Johnson, that sounds very good. Enjoy. I'm on a meal prep trip at the moment, so I'm done eating for the day, and I have to just get out of my mind the idea that I need more food, because I don't. I'm just used to eating at this time. It's 9:30 at night. It's part of the reason why I need to meal prep, need to start eating during specific hours, fasting the rest of the time. Violet, this is the grad house, so people who haven't graduated yet are not going to be here. I'm glad, Cowboy. That's why we're here. Ease the mind. Connect with the breath. What's happening with the music? Oh my God, this is one of my favorite songs of all time. Got any Bon Iver fans in the room? Lauren, be kind to yourself. I don't know what you are experiencing that from, and it's different for all of them, but just know that it will end. Know that you'll come through it. And know that if you decide to, if you can raise the flag, this can be the last time you ever do it. You can get free. You're worth it. You get to enjoy it. You get to start enjoying being you. You get to start enjoying the morning after and the night before instead of just the first 20 minutes of the night before. BH, we just did a guided meditation. If you come back next Sunday at 8 p.m., you can experience it for yourself. Mars Queen, my name is Sam. I'm a friend of Graceland, and I'm here every Sunday doing a meditation at 8 p.m. PST if you want to join us next week. And if you are on TikTok, my handle is Sam Scott with a underscore in between each letter. If any of the mods on TikTok are on the YouTube as well and can put my TikTok handle on the YouTube, that would be useful. Maybe I can do that, I don't know. I don't think I know how to do that. It doesn't seem like I can weirdly comment on the live I'm doing on YouTube. Thank you, Claire, you're the best. I appreciate you. But yes, as the question was asked before, how do we get through come down? The answer is we keep going. We know that it will end. We know the cloud will break. We know the sun will come out. With that moldy buns, that's quite a handle. I didn't hear it before I said it out loud. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you. Lauren, I'm really pleased to hear that. And I really hope you come back next Sunday and you can tell us how that went. Or you can message any of us on TikTok throughout the week and let us know how it's going. If you want any form of accountability. Okay, great. Come back, let us know. We look forward to hearing about it. Maybe I'll bring you up on the live if you feel like talking about it. It's really helpful to everyone to know that you are here and committing to that. It's really important to you to know there's a room of 114 people willing you to make it through tonight, through tomorrow, a minute at a time if you have to. But we're here for you and we're excited for you. You know, they call this thing the last house on the block, but the truth is the last house on the block, if you go around the corner, is the first house on a new path. Thank you, Claire. So you're at the first house on a new path. It's the beginning of your new life. It's the beginning of the life that's been waiting for you this whole time. Thank you, Mars Queen. Appreciate you. Just at 20,000 likes. Big deal. Thank you. Okay, my neck is starting to hurt. I need to stand up, move around. How's my night going? If you're asking me, it's great. I just got to meditate for an hour and a half, hang out with all of you, expose the lie, find out the truth, set myself up for a great week, set hopefully some of you up for a peaceful night's sleep. Moody Chick, yes, this is Gordon Ramsay meditating all of you to sleep. Maybe if I curse a bit more, I'd prove it. Or as we say in England, swear a bit more. Good to see you, Talitha. Moody Chick, you're fucking welcome. I don't like rushing off here. I don't want to create a feeling of whiplash for anyone. I'm just saying I'm going to get off in a minute or two. Thank you, Ben. That's my movie. It was my first one. Came out last year. Called Cellar Door for anyone on YouTube. Took a very long time. I wrote it year one of sobriety. but it wasn't late. It was exactly when it was meant to happen. There was all sorts of things I had to do first, like marriage, fatherhood, divorce with grace, learn how to be an employee in my get well job. All the things I wouldn't have wanted to happen after my career kicking in. Because I'd have blown it. And this is my point about perfect time and perfect order. If everything I'd ever wanted happened in the time that I wanted it, when I wanted it, I probably wouldn't have stayed sober. But even if I had, what I promise and absolutely know is that everything I wanted would be in my rearview mirror, on fire in a dumpster in an alleyway. And instead, it's all to play for. And as painful as it was, watching it take what I thought was too long, I'm so grateful it's now. And it's not over. Because like all of you, I'm at the beginning of the greatest story never told. And that's true every day. Susan, I'm glad you're here. And yes, we're here every week, 8 p.m. PST for apparently an hour and a half, 2 hours. Thank you, Talitha. Sleep well. I wish you a long, deep, restful night's sleep. Dreams that are kind to you. And a day connected to your breath. There is something very enjoyable about playing tracks and chatting with all of you. What time are you live on Sundays? I'm in the UK. Oh, so 6 a.m. for you. No, is that right? No, 4 a.m. for you. I apologize. I know that's rough. But I am going to start doing this on my own live. So if you follow me there, I'm just going to tap my handle. There you go. If you follow me there, I'll do it at some other more convenient times, maybe 10 a.m. and here, which will be 6 p.m. for you, or maybe even 1 or 2 p.m. for people in the UK to join in before they go to sleep. Rose, if you follow me at the pinned comment, you can come find me on my own lives once I start doing them. Possibly this week. I've got to get over the hurdle of doing this on my own live. So if you get a notification that I'm up there, please come hang out. Yes, Lauren, I'll figure it out. I'll do a midday meditation here in LA for the people around the world who want to do it, not at 4 o'clock in the morning or whenever that might be. I mean, even if you're in the Middle East, it would be 8 o'clock in the morning, which I guess would be a nice start to the day, but I'd want to go back to sleep if I woke up and did this. But again, I'm going to start putting on YouTube beginning of the day meditations, which will have a much more energetic vibe, and end of day sleep meditations that will be much more like this. And then middle of the day meditations for things that we need to remember, things that I hope we can start remembering, bringing into our experience. Claire Bear, I appreciate you. I don't think I'd ever get out of bed if I did this all the time. It puts me into a sleep state as well. I need to get one of those hook things that you can massage yourself with while I sit here. Lauren, I'm glad you were here today. I'm glad you weren't working today. It sounds like the universe conspired to make it possible for you to be here. Susan, I don't have a YouTube channel at the moment, but if you come over to TikTok, you'll find me. My handle was pinned, but my name is Sam Scott. There is an underscore between every letter of SAMSCOTT. So if you do that, you'll probably find me. There's a black and white picture of me in my handle or my profile. Katie, he's doing much better, but we appreciate your concern. You're welcome, Susan. I will also say I do follow people back so that they can reach out if they want to or if they need to. And that is born out of nothing more than a desire to be helpful. I really do, as I said in the meditation, the two most important days in a person's life is the day they are born and the day they find out why. And I genuinely believe, without wishing to sound in any way worthy, that this is my why. It's a business I work in, and I really do see it as something that I get to do. Another lame. Nick's doing well. He's at the main house. This is the graduate house, which is why he's not here. Yes, he's okay. Thank you, Clara. I appreciate you. We appreciate that, Lame. I'm sure that's not actually your name. I hope you can give yourself a handle that's kinder to yourself. Maybe I'm misinterpreting the meaning. What's this? The original of this song is also one of my favorite songs on the planet. Don't Take the Money. It's about a guy saying to a girl, please choose this and not the money. Listen to Watching the Detectives by Elvis Costello. Alright, I'll put it on next. Which means that you'll all be listening to that as well. I agree with you, Claire Bear. Everyone deserves love. And everyone on here deserves someone to be praying for them. I read this really beautiful line somewhere on social media this week that if you have to write letters, you have reasons to stay. Your letters are your reasons. Okay, I'm going to play this song without ever having heard it, so this is on you, Lame. If this is not good, absolutely nothing will happen. Claire Bear, Don't Take the Money by Bleachers. Look it up, it's an absolute banger. I think the version I was just playing is the acoustic or unplugged version with Lord. Both are great. Okay, this is a bit punky for this vibe, so I'm gonna go back. But I appreciate the recommendation. Anyone heard the new Jelly Roll album? It's pretty amazing. '40s. Costello's not that old. What's up, Stace? Love back. You're all the way in New Zealand. What time is it there right now? I'm going to guess you're about 16 hours ahead, so 8 behind. 1:43 in the morning, is that right? 12:43 at night, something like that. Oh no, maybe you're further. It's somewhere between 12:43 and... Oh Jesus. 6:43. You're 21 hours ahead. You're so far away, you're almost directly underneath us. I mean, you're only far away on the map. We're basically next door to each other. Nadine, he's doing better. We appreciate you.
I'll be in the gutter trying to crawl out if you need me. I couldn't watch you bleeding like you were eyes closed speeding without a single warning, and now you keep pretending like the ending of a story wasn't all your performing, was any better for me.
Tasha, yes, you have what? Oh, you've heard the album, yeah. Halsey's great, isn't it? First thing I ever heard of hers was an acoustic version of Ghost, which is still just like the most stunning piece of live a cappella I've heard in a long time. So we got all the way from New Zealand to Los Angeles, pretty much all over the world. Have we got anyone in the middle? Eastern Europe, Middle East, Far East, Russia, Asia. Stace, I'm so glad to read that. Just want to say thank you for a meditation I joined a while back, changed my entire mindset, and it's stuck. It just flows off now. Thank you. You're welcome. That is the whole goal, is to shift mindset from the head to the lungs. There is a mindset in the lungs, and there is a mindset in the head. Nadine, appreciate you. God, he is cute, isn't he? Thank you, Lane. Appreciate you. I explained to someone earlier how to do it, but I don't think I'm going to do that again. Definitely not here for... Maybe I am here for hair tutorials. Who knows? I don't know. It's none of my business. Tasha, you're in Kentucky. When I said anyone in the middle, I meant the middle of the world, but... Sorry, I'm just getting a call that I'm saying call you right back to. Miss Victoria, I believe if anyone dies with this disease or for any other reason, they have a place in heaven. Particularly in the question you're asking, because that wouldn't be to die of a moral failing. I also don't believe moral failing blocks you from heaven. I don't believe sin is to do wrong. I was in a Bible study the other day talking about The fact that sin is to fall short of the mark, to fall short of what God has intended for us. It's not to do wrong. It's not about living in shame. It's not about fulfilling a list of self-flagellatory to-dos that you can't ever possibly complete. I don't actually know what I'm playing right now. You don't need to cash at me to play a song. I can just do it. But my Venmo's Sam Scott 90 if you want to. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that. I hope I am allowed to, because otherwise I'm in serious trouble. It says Papa Roach. Oh, there we go. There you go, another lane. This one's for you. Oh, I know the song. It's great. Oh, look at that. I've got it saved already. Stace, I'm glad you cried. We all need it. We need the release. You're crying out of relief for the truth. 22,200 likes is a power number. 222. Love it. I'm glad I noticed, because I'm sure it will go up. It sounds a bit like Jelly Roll, doesn't it? Yeah, I hadn't cried a long time. And then I went and did breath work, and the floodgate opened, and I experienced something in sobriety we call the softening. Around about the time I turned 15 years sober, I experienced the softening, and now I cry at the slightest thing. I was looking at someone in a meeting the other day that I have known for a long time, and thought about how grateful I was for how consistent he's been in my journey, but we don't spend time together. I probably talked to him for a cumulative 20 minutes in my recovery, but we've been going to meetings together for 10 years, and I got choked up. Just because I looked at someone across the room who's been there for a while. Another lame, I'm so sorry about your brothers passing from this disease. And we appreciate you being proud of us, and we're proud of you. Thank God you made it out. Thank God you get to be the one for your parents that stayed. And I hope you stay. Another lame, you don't do people, but here you are. I think maybe you do. I only say that because, again, I thought for a long time I was a lone wolf, and I didn't need other people, and I didn't want anyone around. I wanted to be left alone. I didn't want to know what anyone thought of what I was doing. And what I found out in recovery is that I actually need people, and I want them around. I work from home by myself in 2 different businesses. And when I'm done with my day's work, I actually have to get outside and be around people, connect, be seen, be heard. And by the way, just to repeat it, because I think it's worth repeating, all the haters on here just want to be seen, want to be heard. They say divisive things. They say mean things because they think it's more likely to get a reaction. They would desperately want to be seen and heard just like the rest of us. And haters hate themselves. And I hope they stop. You know. I played a song name and then I forgot to play another one. Oh my God, Foy Vance. There we go. If you don't know the song She Burns by Foy Vance, you're missing out. I relate to not liking people, but I do really like people. I find individuals challenging, and I find humanity challenging. But I also find individuals who are magical, and I find the collective can be magical. And so I stick in for the experience because I want to experience the magical. St. Nick, it's hard to silence hateful comments. We see them as pain. One day they may seek help and we'll be here with the open arms, offering a space to connect and heal. It's beautifully said. We need not silence the hate. It's all the same thing. If you come here and say, I need help and I don't know what I'm doing, or you come here and say, fuck all of you, you're saying the same thing. You're saying, I want to be here, I want to connect with all of you, and I don't know how to ask when you come here and hate. But you're saying the same thing. All I'm going to choose to hear is the magic, not the hate. Well, my job is to look for an opportunity to help. Yeah, if you hate yourself. If you feel judged, it's because you're judging yourself. Whenever I've found myself resentful because he thinks, or they think, or she thinks, whatever the rest of that sentence is, I have to write it down and cross out the words they think and write down I think. I don't know what other people think. Another lame, if you go to the Graceland Ranch website, you'll see a link to admissions. Send them an email and they'll reach back out. Okay, I think that's my time. We've been here 2 hours. It's been really a pleasure to hang out with all of you. I pray that you have a peaceful week. I pray that you stay in the breath. I pray that you stay sober. I pray that anyone who came here to share their day count with us will come back next week and share their day count with us. But know that if you get to bed tonight without drinking or using, you'll finish first place with the rest of us. Lauren, we're going to see you a week from now. Maybe I'll see you on my own live before that. And whatever you're doing, however it's going, what matters is that you're here. Don't not come if you haven't got an answer you want to give, because the only answer we want you to give is that you're here. And yeah, happy Monday. It's 9:57 p.m. here, but it's Monday for a lot of you. So let's go have a good week. Let's go have a good day. Let's go have a good hour. Be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves. Most importantly, be kind to yourselves. You're not doing it wrong, it's just really hard. It can't be 10 a.m. in Britain. It's not 10 a.m. in Britain, it's 8 hours ahead. It's 6 a.m. For events, if you take nothing away from this, is breathe and go listen to 4 events. And don't take the money by bleachers. Unless you want to listen to something else, in which case do that. It's not morning, it's night. Lame. It's 10 p.m. I don't know what time it is for you. We'll be here soon. We'll be back soon. The team will be back here before me. Victoria, Pat's doing well. He's home right now with his wife and baby. Stace, I'm glad that you found this helpful. But I gotta call it. Come follow me. Send me a message if you want. I will reply. Let me know how you're doing. Oh yeah, this live will be on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, within about 5 minutes of me coming off here in my experience. Yeah. And by the way, shout out if Abby Mack and her mom or her mom happen to be on here. I'm glad you're here, and I hope this was enjoyable for you. But yeah, YouTube I think is the Graceland Ranch YouTube, or maybe it's Learning to Lose. Claire Bear, you can probably clarify. These sessions get put on there so you can listen again. Okay, under Patrick Ridge. This will be on there. Alright guys, have a good night. I'll see you all soon.